Hello and welcome back to another episode of The Real View. Real views from real people where we discuss film, TV, and music. In this episode, we are looking at the 2025 release of Superman. Big movie in the cinemas. My name is Miles, that's Miles with a Y. You can follow me at Miles Reviews across all social platforms. And please do all that good stuff. Share, like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification button to stay up to date with all videos and content that I'm making. As always, there are time codes in the description so you can skip ahead, skip forward, rewind selector, and time travel through the episode at your will. We work on a 3-tier rating system from top to bottom, tap it straight to my veins. This sandwich is filling but not satisfying, and that's not it. So how are you guys doing? Hope you're well, hope you're enjoying what's going on in the film, TV, and music land. What are you watching at the moment? What are you listening to? Let me know in the comments below. I would love to hear from you. So yes, we are discussing Superman 2025, and here is your cast call. David Corenswet, Rachel Brosnahan, Nicholas Hoult, María Gabriela de Faría, Sara Sampaio, Wendell Pierce, Edi Gathegi, Nathan Fillion, and Isabela Merced, to name a few. Right, so let's get into it. Superman 2025, here's my thoughts. Superman, let's talk about Superman. Alright, hopefully I don't get copyright for that one. I gotta stop singing these intros. Superman 2025. Let's talk about it. Okay, so what's this all about then, Governor? Clark Kent / Superman, David Corenswet, comes under fire after interfering in a conflict between warring nations Baravia and Juniper, which is only intensified by the witch hunt conducted by Lex Luthor, Nicholas Hoult, directed by and written by James Gunn, based on the comics and characters created by Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster. Yeah, so highly anticipated movie, obviously one of the biggest comic book movies of the year, undoubtedly. So probably only, well, I guess in schedule time, facing off with Fantastic Four. I didn't get to see this opening weekend, but I did see it the following week. And yeah, man. Again, I was in a weird space of, feeling a bit tense or whatever before the movie started. Not anything to do with the movie, just life. But this was a really good movie. I thought it was really well made. Really earnest, just like and not just for lack of quips or whatever, as has been the Marvel brand, but just good guys trying to do a good guy trying to do good things, you know what I mean? Earnestly, and just I like how they kind of kept that sort of they use that sort of Silver Age comic book Superman, so like he's pretty much golly gosh, kind of like, just really do goody two shoes kind of guy, but not in an annoying way, like almost in an adorable way. And yeah, it was nice to just watch just to watch a film about a nice guy, a guy who's genuinely nice and genuinely trying to help and be kind and protect and that kind of stuff, in this current climate, in the world that we live in. And I think that's always needed, but I feel like especially recently, and this isn't for all movies, I wouldn't say it's about all the movies, but certainly recently it's a lot of superhero movies have been about the quips or about anti-hero or even just action movies in general and stuff like that, you know what I mean? So it was really nice to have this kind of take on it. And I thought it's a great movie. Is it my favourite movie of the year? I think I still got to give that to Sinners, in all honesty. But it's pretty close. Warner Brothers, you got some good stuff going on there. Don't mess it up. But yeah, it was a really good start to the DCU for me. I think James Gunn pretty much knocked it out of the park. Casted great. Like I say, it was well written. I think the action looked great. I especially liked I thought the flying scenes were really cool. And I know, there's possibly some discourse online about that, about how it doesn't look fluid or it looks a bit rubbery, but I I don't know, it's like different, you know? Like, we've seen people flying on screen like over and over again, but this just felt quite immersive, I guess. Yeah, like you were there taking flight with him. And yeah, it's I just really enjoyed this movie. I look forward to seeing it again. I kind of contemplating taking my eldest to see it as well. But yeah, I don't know. To be honest, I don't know if I get around to seeing it again. But hey, it's a long summer, boy. It's a long summer. What else do I have to say before getting into spoilers? Yeah, I think it's one of those ones that I'll have more to take away from it on repeat watches and get more appreciation of it. You know, I really liked the hopefulness of it. You know, Clark's character is all about doing his best to help people regardless of some of the politics or implications, as we're talking about in spoilers. And yeah, I think I'm just going to get into spoilers now. Let's not beat around the bush. But yeah, Superman 2025, tap it straight to my veins. Okay, let's get into spoilers for real. So yeah, like I was saying, Clark Kent, played by David Corenswet, who, by the way, does a great job. Well done, David, Mr. Corenswet. He was just a really earnest, really nice kid. He's a really nice version of Superman. Like I would, the kind of Superman I would remember from childhood. You know, and I think it was a genius move to open with a beaten Superman, like you see in the trailer. His mouth's all bloodied and he's crashing to the Antarctica where the Fortress of Solitude is. And by the way, the fortress, I love that design, the way it came out, all the crystals coming out at different angles and stuff and coming out of the ground. I thought it was cool. But yeah, in terms of like the politics and implications, I think, and sorry to get political here, and I hope this doesn't get like, what's the word, put down in rankings or visibility or whatever. But with everything going on with Gaza and Israel-Palestine conflict, it was kind of refreshing to see a sort of conflict going on where the politics wasn't. Although, yes, that kind of thing does need to be considered to some extent, but like the highest priority for Superman was saving people. It didn't matter what side was wrong or right or whatever. It was about saving the innocent lives, and that was cool to see, man. I love that. You know what I mean? That was really nice to see. So I'm a big fan on that one. I liked the way that was dealt with. So you had Mr. Terrific in this, and I feel like on my timeline everyone was banging on about him, and of course he is played by I could just say the name here, but I feel like I'm gonna get it wrong. So let me find out the guy's name. Sorry about this. Right, so you had Mr. Terrific played by Edi Gathegi, and he was just brilliant. Also, he played Darwin in X-Men First Class, which everyone knows was just such a wasted character. Like, he was great in it, and the character was great, but they just killed him off so easily. But anyway, in this, like, he's a really cool and fun character to watch in action, He's like seemingly burdened by his genius and the fact that most people aren't on his level, or just probably really worn down from having to be around Guy Gardner all the time, played by Nathan Fillion. And I gotta say, Guy Gardner, what a jerk! What a great, what a great like play on the jerk though, But yeah, I love seeing Eddie on screen as Mr. Terrific. He's just really cool, and just a really great character to watch. That was fun. In terms of the style and tone of the movie, I felt like it was big leaning into like the sort of old Richard Donner films with Christopher Reeve, and yeah, I liked it because it was earnest. It felt good. It kind of reminded me of like Wonder Woman 84. I know, not a great movie, but the opening I feel was very much that Richard Donner-esque sort of vibe. Along the way, it lost its way, but this one seemed to sort of maintain that earnestness. Also has some cool things as well, and just generally well put together. So that was great. Like I say, all the performances were great. So standout performances, obviously David Corenswet played a great Clark Kent Superman. The engineer, played by María Gabriela de Faría, I thought she was great. It's really threatening and really just a really distinct conviction of what she was doing. Sara Sampaio as E17 was actually quite hilarious and just I think she just played it really well. I don't know what was up with actually Jimmy Olsen just had the girl them. Well, he's the girl them sugar, you know what I mean? And it is what it is. And he did that really well. Rachel Brosnahan obviously as Lois Lane was great. Like I say, Edi Gathegi as Mr. Terrific. Guy Gardner, played by Nathan Fillion, again great. Isabela Merced, even though we didn't get to see much of her as Hoult girl, I think she did great, and I'd love to see more about her, more about her story. I wasn't a fan of the Hoult girl screech though. I found that a bit jarring, but it works for the character, I guess. And of course, Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor, another standout performance. Great stuff, man. I just thought it wasn't anyone I was like, you suck. Yeah, great performances. And what I liked as well is that, I don't know if you had this back in the day, but back in the day when I used to watch the few superhero movies or TV specials that were on, obviously back then it's probably a lot harder to do special effects and that kind of stuff. But I used to hate, other than the origin stories, I used to get really impatient about seeing the superheroing, and it just felt particularly when I remember some of the old Hulk movies and stuff. But come on, man, just turn to Hulk already. I'm bored. But I didn't find this with this, but I just like that we would just jump straight into it. Just get to see him Supermaning. That was great to me. Going back to Lex Luthor, it's wild to me that everything Superman was fighting against in this film was down to Lex Luthor. Literally, he meticulously calculated just trying to get Superman's downfall. It's definitely you had the I guess sharp businessman Lex, but it's more definitely leaning more towards the zany and psychotic Lex, and I like that. Just a mad scientist, maniacal villain that seems to have no limit to what he's willing to do. It's like watching a Joker, but with a polished public persona, and that was good to watch. Enjoyed to watch. I'm sure you probably heard some of the backlash from Trump supporters since James Gunn stated that Superman is an immigrant, so it's an immigrant story. It's definitely a theme of the movie, but it didn't feel heavy-handed or inorganic to me. The messaging made sense with the story, and ultimately it's about treating all people with kindness. So basically, calm down, MAGA, isn't it? You know what I mean? It just is what it is. It was fun. There's some like I spoke before, there's some parallels to the real world Lex the billionaire with ulterior motives and all that kind of stuff, So although I guess it's one of those things where art imitates life kind of thing. But obviously this is drawn from some old comic book arcs and stories as well. So I guess these things kind of just keep coming around, you know what I mean? Like I said earlier, it'd be good to get some more screen time with Hawk Girl. But I guess, like I say, they'll dive into her a bit more in the following movies, hopefully. This film had a lot going on in it, a lot of different characters, and I think it definitely had the potential to be overstuffed. And for some characters, they definitely get glossed over, but for the most part, I think this film worked, and I enjoyed it, and I'm sure, like I say, with repeat viewings, you get more into it. Another thing I like about Clark Kent is his almost naive optimism compared to most of the Justice Gang. They're a bit more worn or just wary in general, or ignorant in different ways. But I just liked his just faith in humanity. You know what I mean? I guess maybe part of that comes from him wanting to be human, and in many ways, like he says in his speech at the end, he is. I loved the relationship he had with his parents, how his parents were so just proper country farm people, just normal down to earth people. And I like that they were both there, that they, one of them weren't dead or whatever. Yeah, man, it's cool. It was nicely handled. Yeah, like I say, the whole Jimmy Olsen thing, that thing about him just having all the girl them, just having like all the girls on lock. I thought that was quite funny, and I quite like that. Skylar Gisondo played a great Jimmy Olsen, I think, in this iteration of Jimmy Olsen, definitely. What else can I say about this movie? I mean, there's a lot to say, to be honest, but I don't have a lot to say right now. But yeah, overall, just a really good movie, really fun, really optimistic, and a great start to the DCU. And I know not every movie is going to be like this, and I don't want that, to be honest. Every character has different tones, different worlds have different tones and different looks to them or whatever. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see how that all interconnects, or even if it does interconnect, what I mean? Just make stories, some of them can run into each other, some of them not. Well, so it's all good. A really good movie, I think, and I really enjoyed it. Superman 2025. Yeah, man. I realised I didn't even talk about Crypto. Now, let me tell you, I love Crypto's involvement in this. I love that he wasn't even his dog. Like, further testament to how nice and good a guy Clark Kent Superman is. That he's just looking after his cousin's dog, who is an absolute nightmare of a dog. Not a nightmare of a dog, like a good dog, but just like not well trained at all. Like when he calls him and he's just jumping all over. When he calls him, he's beaten and bloody and bruised, and Krypton's just jumping all over him. And he's got Kryptonian strength in it. So yeah, man, it's a lot. But yeah, just a really, what's the word, like not well behaved dog, but just still like a lovely, lovable dog. And I love that part as well where Lex sends out that huge kaiju monster to Metropolis so that Superman will deal with him. And there's like a dog about to get smushed, and he just uses a super breath to gently blow him out of the way. Like the amount of restraint he must have had to use to do that, and also stop this monster at the same time. You think about it like that, it's just like, it's a lot, isn't it, But, yeah, loved it all. And I thought, great movie. So, good times. And yes, those were my thoughts on Superman 2025. What did you guys think? Did it reach all the hype? I know it was very long anticipated in terms of comic book movies. I was definitely gassed about it. But what did you guys think? How did you find the movie? Or have you not seen it? Or are you not interested? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. And of course, you've been listening to myself, Miles, at Miles Reviews. You can follow me across all social platforms. Please remember to share, like, comment, subscribe, and all that good stuff. Hit the notification button to stay up to date with all the videos and content I'm making. And I hope you guys are well out there enjoying the film, TV, and music, but most of all, life. All right, guys, I'll catch you on the next one. God bless and all the rest.